lot about young boys. That came out wrong. About the men in crisis problem, which I was reading some amazing statistics, knowing this is a pet subject of yours, and I feel like sometimes people in this country get caught in a paradigm that's just not happening anymore. And in their minds, I think men are still ahead. I know men are told often, you have all the advantages. Listen to this. In a few years, twice the number of college graduates will be women than men. Twice. 70% of high school valedictorians are women. In 10 states, they're a grade level above the boys. In all 50 states, they're at least half a grade level above the boys. Listen, this just blew my mind. Single women, far more likely to own their own home than single men. Far less likely to commit suicide or be in prison. And almost twice as many are married under 30. 63% of women under 30 are married, only 34% of men. So, I don't know, do the liberals have the guts to, take the case of somebody who's kind of lagging behind if it's a male?
Well, the question is, should they pay for the sins of their father and their grandfather? Because a 19-year-old who doesn't have any prospects with just a college degree, without a college degree, who has an education system that's biased against them, boys are twice as likely to be suspended. The exact same behavior as a girl, 5 times as likely if you're a black boy. You mentioned some statistics. If you're a man on Tinder, if you're in the bottom half of our average attractiveness, you have to swipe 200 times to get dates. You get confirmation you have no value. And we have to have an honest conversation. Mating dynamics are different for men and women. 75% of women say that economic viability is important. Only 25% of men. Women mate socioeconomically horizontally enough, men horizontally and down. So the result is a lack of household formation. And essentially, there's nothing more dangerous than a lonely, broken young man. And we're producing too many of them. And finally, we're having a productive conversation, because who wants more emotionally and economically viable young men? Women. Compassion is not a zero-sum game. Civil rights didn't hurt white people. Gay marriage didn't hurt heterosexual marriage. Nor is having empathy for the group that has fallen furthest, fastest, is that going to affect women? We're finally having a productive conversation. Advocating for men does not make you anti-women.
Well, why are young men so lazy, though? That's what I don't understand. I mean, you see them on dates in shorts. Yes, they are. Stuff like that. I mean, just like little things you could do. And they just seem to be, they would rather sit home and jerk off to porn. I don't get the inertia that seems to be built into them.
I think a lot of it is our fault. I think that men who have achieved a certain level of success need the ultimate expression of masculinity, in my view, is to take a vested interest in the well-being of a young man or a boy who's not yours. Because the number one indicator of suicide among teen boys is a fatherless home. 70% of men who are incarcerated didn't have a male role model. So if we want better men, we have to be better men. We have to get involved in our lives. You're talking about mating dynamics. I think in health, in high school, we should have a course on mating dynamics that teaches everyone, especially young men, how to approach someone and express romantic interest, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's not toxic, while this is the hard part, while making them feel safe. They've been taught that it's toxic to express that interest. It's
Even
not.
If I wanted to help you with this, it's too risky. They would just say it was a pervert. It was, oh, boy, Bill Maher suddenly took an interest in a 15-year-old boy. They would. Sorry. Anyway, speaking of this,